Ron Jovi coming at you live from Bond Street, USA at ETW Studios. I got two special guests today. To my right, I got the man, the myth, the legend, the Cap. And then over here, I've got the boss, BDC, Big Daddy Collins, coming in. Gonna lead you into a little bit of a preview for the FanWars show coming up on the 1st, 7 p.m. right here on Bond Street. So gentlemen, how you guys doing today?
Doing great. Great to be here. Salute to the ETW community and universe.
I'm just glad to have you finally class up the place a little bit and have the man behind ETW join.
I'm the one doing the classing up. I'm the face.
3 episodes to get me here, but I'm here now. So.
Well, truth of the matter is, I believe the only reason you're here is because the last episode we went over the power rankings and did not cast you in a favorable light.
I know all the tricks of the trade behind the power rankings. As you said, it's a computer that's a little too difficult for your feeble mind to understand, but I know
nobody understands it. All right. Well, do you want to go ahead and talk about the power rankings more in depth, especially probably around number 5, I'm assuming?
Let's get right into the power rankings.
All right. So number 10. All right. We got Cody, the Tornado Reigns.
Cody Reigns, an impressive individual coming up out of the Wartburg area in Tennessee here. And, you know, I got to say, the last time we were on Bond Street, we saw the best Cody Reigns we've ever seen. He came up short against JD Rising, but it was the best match either one of those guys has put on.
I got to say, even in a losing effort, JD was pretty banged up after that, and you can see this guy's coming on the scene. Definitely belongs in the top 10.
He put up his best effort and he lost. He shouldn't even be on this ranking.
He may have lost the match, but Cap is all over it there. I've heard a lot of rumors on the street about the health of JD Rising after that match, and I think while he may have gotten the victory, he may have been the loser in the long run.
Ah, no, he was at the Clinton County Fair. He told me all about it.
That makes him the loser in the long run.
Okay.
Come on.
All right, so next up we got Nicholas Esteban Taylor, the third. Number 9. So what do you guys think about him being in at number 9? He's got a pretty impressive win-loss record to be down there. I mean, he's got a better win-loss record than Cody Reigns does, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think they're both around 500 in ETW action. The thing I like about Nick Taylor, he showed us a little gumption the last time he was here. He took on his tag team partner, the Bad Boy, and he gave him more fight than I think he bargained for.
What do you think, Cap?
I think he should be a little higher just on style points. I mean, this guy's smooth and entertaining and puts on a great show every time.
I think the best move he has is when he laid down for Shane Andrews in that match myself.
I can promise you this, in the ETW Power Rankings computer, style points are not a factor, Cap. So.
All right, well.
It's an advanced algorithm that Ron Jovi will never, ever understand, but style points not a factor.
All right.
Okay, so I got to say I like him being at number 9 just because he's on the Brady Battalion. I like having the guys that are going up against my team this Saturday a little bit lower on the totem pole, so to speak. So I can't say that about many of the guys on here, but I can say that about Taylor. So he's a win in my book.
So I guess you're anxious to talk about number 8.
My choice, number 5, is the premier choice, Brian Jeffries. He went down to Gainesville, he took his ball, he went home. I called him up and said, look, Brian, you got to get back up here, man. We're about to run the show here on Bond Street. I'm putting together the Mullet Club. We're just going to run stuff. I got to have you be a cornerstone of my group.
And I'm sure the fact he went and trained with the original Mullet himself, Ricky Morton, had nothing to do with you picking
No, not at all. No, maybe a little. What do you think about the premier choice Brian Jeffries being on here, Cap?
Well, I think we witnessed a rebirth. I think we're going to see great things from this guy. I'm excited. I think number 8 is right where he belongs on this list. Looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in ETW.
You guys are talking about the guy who ran away from his match with Hairband in his first re-debut as the premier choice. Ran away.
Did you hear the Top Gun music? I would have run away.
I'll give you that.
I'm just saying, sometimes BDC, you got to pick yourself up and recollect yourself and polish yourself off and start anew. So I'm thinking good things from this guy. All
right, I'm not disagreeing at all. So next up we have number 7, Tristan Ramsey, better known by me as Fanny Pack. I mean, that's really all I know about the guy. What can you tell us?
For ETW fans, Fanny Pack is probably the trademark of Tristan Ramsey, but this is a guy who's held titles in countless other organizations. He's only been on Bond Street a couple of times. He's coming back for the FanWars, and I think number 7 is a really good spot for him. He probably can move up higher as he continues to come to Bond Street. Right now, that's a good spot for him.
Anything to add to that, Cap?
Well, most people recognize him by his fanny pack, but I think if you look at his opponents after each match, you might know him for their bright red chest.
That's true. He puts my guy Matt Raby
Chop Suey.
Chop City. Chop City. He does give him a run for his money on the chop side of things. So number 6, my guy, the super heavyweight sensation, Brandon Christopher, bringing up the midpoint of the power rankings. I'm a little bit shocked that he's so low on there, to be honest with you. I mean, the man should be the champion right now.
The man disappeared, stopped answering our phone calls, stopped taking our messages for 2 months.
For a man of his size, that's an amazing feat.
He shows back up to save the anomaly, to align himself with the anomaly. That's the reason he chooses to come back after all that time?
Now, okay, so I don't want to talk about you just yet because you're obviously ranked higher than any of my guys. But let's look at the history of you beating down people smaller than you. We got Terry Armstrong. We've got the anomaly. Like if you hadn't have been your bully complex, then the anomaly wouldn't have needed saving.
Wah. You left out David the Dragon Niley, one of the largest individuals in ETW. He's on my notch on my belt there.
You attacked him after a match, though. That doesn't count. What do you have to say, Cap?
I was adding to that. That was kind of convenient that you let David the Dragon out there. You're
Thank you, Cap.
just trying to be the voice of
So
reason.
let's just roll right into number 5. Who is it on the countdown there, Ron?
Big Daddy Collins.
The boss.
And I'm number 5 just because I don't choose to be number 1. You know, it's just a matter
you brought
of
the system.
I'm focused on running the show instead of running the show, if you know what I mean.
See, and that's the problem.
Can you,
with
as
these
we're
power
talking about
rankings.
me, you think they can show that picture when I had the choke slam, or that guy, that turncoat, I can't remember his name, but what I remember about the picture is you, mouth agape in the front row, Ron, mouth hanging open as I held him up. Can we show that? Can they put that in during post-production?
We don't have that.
Right there.
That picture has been eliminated from the annals of ETW history. I'm just saying, I'm speechless at this. You putting yourself number 5.
I tend to leave people speechless with my work in the ring, Ron.
You come up with this system, this ranking that's too
It's a computer,
complicated
it's
for
an
anyone
algorithm.
to understand, and yourself shows up at number 5.
If you
I don't
like
the
number
smell of this.
5, I bet you love number 4, Ron.
Here we go.
I'm not allowed to talk about number 4. You guys go ahead.
What do you
Last
think, Cap?
time I said this name, I had to pay a $500 fine. So I'm
Number
going to sit this one out.
Number 4 on our list is a man who has spent more time in the East Tennessee wrestling ring in action than anyone else on our roster.
He's the most polarizing figure in ETW. I'm surprised he's not a little higher on the list, actually. He's got a great record.
He's coming off a tough loss.
He is, but you can't win them all. And
We're talking about, of course, Aiden Brady. I'll say his name. Aiden Brady, the beloved, the franchise here, the beloved hero of the Brady Bunch, the good people who fill this building every show.
With
And
stink.
to say that he's polarizing, Captain, I'm not sure I can agree just because Ron Jovi and his row of misfits don't like him.
okay, he's got a few detractors. It's hard not to like this guy. I mean, he's kissing babies, he's performing surgeries to orphans in third world countries.
God.
Give him a chance, Ron. Come on.
He actually, there was a construction accident at the new Chinese restaurant down the block. He saved 3 Chinese people.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
That's amazing. That is
You
amazing.
all are killing me. Let's just move on. Let's talk about Hairband.
Let's talk about Hairband. How about that? I thought we'd seen most of the facets of Hairband. Then all of a sudden, Kenny Loggins hits the speakers. Here he comes, new shirt, new look. I think number 3 is a very fair spot. This guy's won a lot of ETW matches. He won 2 on the last show.
He did.
Wow.
Nobody's questioning his work ethic at all. I think maybe we're questioning his lineage and parents a little bit, but nobody is really asking any questions about how hard the man works. When that Kenny Loggins music hit, I did have a little palpitation right there. I'm not going to lie.
Are you proud of your son, Captain?
I can't speak to that. DNA tests have not been confirmed, but he's a good-looking kid. I'll give him that.
I bet you do.
He's electrifying both in the ring and with the fans. I like him.
I think we should have the next episode live from the set of Maury Povich just to find out the answer myself. All right, so let's go into the number 2, the bad boy, Shane Andrews. Got a big match coming up, right?
He does, and I'm going to stop you right there. A lot of folks looking at the power rankings, wondering about the formulas, saying, where is the snake in the grass, Sean Schultz?
He's undefeated.
One factor in the rankings, and this maybe you can wrap your head around, to be eligible for the power rankings, you have to have at least 2 ETW matches. Sean Schultz has one. It was a victory over number 3 hairband. That puts him, in my mind, he should be a top 3 kind of guy. But until he has that second match, he won't hit our power rankings.
So you're saying after next week he'll be on the power rankings?
I'm saying if you look at Sean Schultz and Shane Andrews, you could have 2A and 2B on these rankings this week. And we're going to get to see them on August 1st at FanWars. Not just see them, the NWA television title is going to be on the line here on Bond Street.
That is an incredible feat right there, having a national television title put on the line right here at 502 Bond Street. Picturesque Lenore City, Tennessee. Has there ever been a title of that caliber defended right here in Lenore City?
Clearly there hasn't, and the backstory of this match is what's really intriguing. You've got Shane Andrews, who, as we talked about earlier, he beat Nick Taylor to earn a shot at the title. He comes to us the next day, and I'm expecting him to cash in that title shot at our last show. He says no, he wants to face Sean Schultz first. And I'm a little curious about that, but then it occurs to me. Sean Schultz is the mentor and the trainer of Andrew the Benchmark Boy.
This is a very good point. Now, my question is going to be, nobody is denying Shane Andrews' skill in the ring at all. But are we really believing that he's capable of pulling off this kind of mind games with the Benchmark right now?
I think he's more than capable. You cannot question what Shane Andrews can do inside the ring.
Mm-mm.
But he is a hard man to deal with outside the ring. I'm going to be a little bit politically correct. Shane Andrews is not the most fun to be around backstage.
He's a hoot!
And it is definitely him trying to send a message. If he can beat Sean Schultz, it's going to be hard for anybody to believe that Andrew Boyd, who is in the shadow of Sean Schultz, he's in his lineage here in this business, how is he going to be able to defend a belt when his mentor wasn't able to do the same thing? It's brilliant strategy, but it's your usual. I'll say this, Shane Andrews backs up his swagger in the ring, but don't put it past him. This is a big power play on his part. If he pulls it off, he's going to be the NWA television champion and the ETW wrestling champion within the next month and a half, 2 months.
You can't argue with that. What do you have to say about it, Captain?
I'm just super excited about this match because not only do you have all these mind games and this backstory, but the NWA TV title. I mean, this is a title that greats have held over the years. Sting, Arn Anderson, your boy,
Ricky the Steamboat Dragon.
There you go.
Right.
I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin before he was Stone Cold. So, I mean, this is going to be a spectacular match. I can't wait.
All right, well, let's get on to number 1 then, shall we? Guy I had on my show last week.
Were you on his show or was he on your show?
This is debatable right now.
BBC.
I did have the host title credit, so I'm going with me. He's not in the building right now. I feel completely safe in saying that.
Yeah, you would hear him or Daddy Mac if they were anywhere within a
really
10-mile radius.
Daddy Mac did a lot of talking, I have to say. So number 1, obviously the 1A contender, as I call it, Cadillac Cowboy. What do you guys have to say about it? I think it's a solid pick for number 1. You can't really go wrong between 1 and 2. They're 1A and 1B in my book.
Right.
But Cadillac Cowboy is going to have the title shot first. So what do you guys think about that?
There's no doubt that Cadillac earned the title shot. I will say that you choosing to throw the PFL towel into the ring.
I dropped it.
At a very critical moment in the match. I got to say that was a bit of a factor in what transpired at our last show. But be that as it may, Cadillac is undefeated here on Bond Street. Daddy Mac has made a strong case that his lineage, his background, more than qualify him for a title shot. But Andrew Boyd is not going to be a pushover in this match. We just saw Andrew Boyd take out Super Destroyer, who to be honest, dominated a large portion of that match. But the Benchmark found a way. The Benchmark always finds a way. He's only had one loss on Bond Street despite having more matches than anyone. And that one loss was by disqualification. He's not been pinned, submitted. He's not lost in any form or fashion that would cause him to lose that title belt to Cadillac.
He's probably, honestly, even though he's not a part of the Mullet Club just yet, probably my favorite wrestler down here on Bond Street for the simple fact that he kept the belt off of number 4.
Number 4 again being Aiden Brady. Aiden Brady.
Do you want to pile on here, Cap?
I just want to. I got a question for Big Daddy. Does style of chest hair go into these equations when you're doing the rankings?
Again,
Fair
I can
question.
promise you, it's a fair question. The chest hair, the manscaping, as he likes to call it, manscaping is not a factor in the power.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand. So.
But Ron, the power rankings, I'm glad we really got time to talk through them. But I know what you want to talk about, and I want to hear your thoughts. The FanWars match, August 1st. Can I tell the fans how that match is going to work?
Go ahead, because I think there's a little bit of probably more confusion about this match than these bogus power rankings you put together here. So let's hear it.
The computer put those together. I put this match together. I don't think you've seen this anywhere else besides East Tennessee Wrestling. You've got a team of 5. Doug Odell and the Brady Battalion have a team of 5.
4.
You will both stand on the outside of the ring. When the match begins, you will each send one competitor into the ring. They will have a singles match until one man is pinned, submitted, disqualified, counted out, until that match comes to a conclusion. The losing wrestler heads to the back. The losing team captain has to send the next man in. The match continues gauntlet style until one team is annihilated, until one team has no members remaining, until one superfan is left red-faced and embarrassed at ringside with no team left, and the other superfan, likely Doug Odell, will be named commissioner for the day on August 29th and will have virtually complete control of what transpires on Bond Street the next time we gather.
See, that's the problem. He is not fit to lead this company because you said virtually. He doesn't have the gumption to do everything. I'm already the face of the company. Let's just put it like it is. All right, and not to mention, he's got the shortest trip to being red-faced than your boy Ron Jovi.
I don't think either one of you are going to win a marathon around the building, Ron. But
one of us has to win.
Can I break some news here on ETW?
Go right ahead.
We're sitting here less than 2 days away from FanWars. Mm-hmm. In this FanWars match, after seeing what happened in the Aiden Brady Cadillac Cowboy match, with you, perhaps affecting the outcome.
I dropped a towel.
And then
twice.
It appeared the Brady bunch may have instigated some trash throwing into the ring. I was left cleaning this mess up for hours.
Terrible.
So I have a little bit of concern that this FanWars match, could get out of control. So I've made myself the special guest referee for the FanWars match.
All right, so now...
You heard it here first.
Now, you are injecting yourself into the match that could lead this company to greatness by putting me as its commissioner.
I am going to ensure that the guest commissioner for a day on August 29th is determined in a fair, called right down the middle fashion. I love Charles Winters. I have the utmost respect for Tommy Bradshaw, but I did not want to put either man in the midst of that chaos. 12 men at ringside, angry Brady Bunch fans on one side, Mullet Club rejects on the other side. It's going to be a chaotic atmosphere, and there's only one man that I trust to see that it comes to a fair conclusion.
You're just trying to save yourself a buck. You've already paid off every ref in here to get favorable outcomes for yourself.
I pay everyone in here.
I'm not getting paid.
I pay almost everyone in here, Ron. I pay the cap.
You get paid?
How do you think you can afford those sunglasses?
Yeah, this is custom from Blue Blocker, just for the cap.
Blue Blocker. Yeah. I haven't heard that. Okay, so I just want to throw out here, I'm not concerned about you trying to interject yourself into this match. I have one undefeated tag team on Bond Street in my corner.
Are you talking about your winless tag team?
They are undefeated. The Anomaly and the super heavyweight sensation, Brandon Christopher. I've got the other that's probably the most experienced tag team on Bond Street, and the Rabid Pitbull and the Party Animal Danimal. And now I've got the guy who's wrestled his way from here to Gainesville and back in the Premier Choice, Brian Jeffries. I'm too big to fail right now. This is not going to end well for you or your little friend Doug Odell, who's just trying to come up with a way to make sure that you're still in charge.
I don't have a stake in this match. I am just the official assigned to count the pinfalls, to recognize the submissions. I'm just there to make sure that if your team is the better team, they'll win.
I can't handle this anymore. You guys just take over. Go ahead, talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is both.
For the record, I think that's the right move, boss. I think the fans want a clear, decisive victory, be it Ron Jovi or Doug Odell, and I think this is the right move for the ETW fans.
That's why you're on the payroll, Captain. And let me just say this. This is going to be, no matter which team wins, this is going to be the most exciting night on Bond Street. We've got the heavyweight title on the line, the benchmark against Cadillac. We've got the NWA television title on the line, two guys that have known each other forever and are trying to prove who's better right here on Bond Street, Shane Andrews and Sean Schultz. And then we've got the FanWars match that who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, this is a loaded super card. I mean, this is something you do not want to miss as a fan.
He said it. You don't want to miss it. August 1st, we're hours away. You better get there early. We're going to be turning people away at the door. Doors open at 6:30. Be there or be regretful.